On the left, what is a hazard is written. On the right, various warning symbols.
Exercise 1. Natural or human-made? See facilitator's notes.
Descriptions as follows. A big wave approaching to a house. Under it, tsunami. A huge wave usually caused by volcanic or earthquake activity under the ocean, which can eventually crash into the shoreline. The effects on the community can be devastating. 3 crescents are placed back to back. In the middle of them is a circle. Under it, epidemic. A rapid spread of an infectious disease to lots of people. A wave forming in the middle like a tornado. Under it, hurricane. Also known as typhoons and cyclones depending on where you live. The strongest tropical storms. They form in specific conditions. A zigzag line approaching a 3-floor apartment from the ground. Under it, earthquakes. The shaking and moving of the ground due to movements of the plates that make up the surface of the earth. Cracked ground under blazing sun. Under it, droughts. When it doesn't rain for an unusually long time, and this leads to a serious water shortage. They can also be caused by human activities. For example, building a dam upstream could cause a drought for the villages downstream. A mosquito. Under it, plague. The rapid spread of a plant, animal or insect that causes harm to people, their crops or their animals. A house on the waves. Under it, floods. When a river bursts its banks and the water spills out into other places. Snow coming down from mountains. Under it, avalanches. When lots of snow suddenly moves downhill. 3-winged propeller. Under it, technological hazards. A hazard caused by technological or industrial conditions. For example, a factory explosion, chemical spill, or nuclear radiation. Rocks tumbling down from a hill. Under it, landslides, mudslides. When lots of land and mud suddenly move downhill. Fumes coming out of a volcano. Under it, volcanoes. When magma reaches the Earth's surface, causing explosions of lava and ash. A pine tree in the middle of a fire. Under it, wildfire. When a fire gets out of control in the forest.
Match the pictures with the name and the description, and then say whether you think it's a natural or a human-made hazard.
A hand is in position to write on the board.
Exercise 2. See facilitator's notes. What kinds of hazards happen most frequently in your area? Game. Find the hazards in the alphabet soup.
In the palindrome puzzle, 15-letter rows of 225 letters are stacked.
Avalanche.
Hidden words are circled in red.
Drought. Earthquake. Epidemic. Explosion. Wildfire. Flood. Hurricane. Landslide. Mudslide. Plague. Tsunami. Exercise 3.
On the left of the picture, after a hazard, trees and stuff scattered on the ground. On the right, houses in rows.
Look at the picture. What could people do to reduce the chance of the hazard turning into a disaster? See facilitator's notes. Exercise 4.
The question is located on the left. On the right, a rope is tied to a provisions crate is suspended from a helicopter. Under it, a woman, a man, and a kid looking at the helicopter.
Let's take an example of a common hazard in your area. What can people do to reduce the chance of the hazard turning into a disaster? See facilitator's notes.
On the picture of the question, a dozen people sitting on chairs arranged in a circular pattern. They are turned to a standing woman.
Exercise 5. Think about your community. Who are the most vulnerable? Imagine you get an SMS warning that a flood is coming. What would you do to make sure the most vulnerable people are protected? See facilitator's notes. Game. Arrange letters in the right order.
In the cut-down tree trunks, the letters S, T, N, E, I, O, F, O, R, E, T, D, and A are etched.
Clue. What increases many communities' vulnerability to soil erosion, mudslides and flooding?
On top, 13 short lines. Letters are arranged in a way to form the word deforestation.
Deforestation. Game. Exercise 6. 1. Draw risk maps to spot danger. 2. Help others in the community understand risks and keep safe. 3. Protect nature. See facilitator's notes. Over to you.
On the left corner of the image, the red sentences. Below them, a hand planting a sapling. On the right, kids painting on the ground. www.seslibetimlemederneği.org